Gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. In today's video, I'm going to show you the best iPhone, Android holder for those of you who like to use your phones for navigation. Lots of different phones have been pretty much indispensable. The way that they Bluetooth and they're hooked up to helmets for guys that are in motorsports. If you're a Southern man and you like to use for your sort of bass fishing, what have you. But there's two different companies that make two products that you kind of have to merge them together. I've been working on this problem for 20 years, trying to come up with the perfect solution, and I think that I have. It's been proven to be super durable, super tough, and I thought we would build one together. First off, let me show you the end result, how it works, how it looks, how you could implement it, and then we'll build it together, and I'll show you the individual components and why we need them. This is my setup here for holding and attaching a phone. Now, the foundation of it all is the RAM mount. The RAM mount is like a 1-inch ball that you can mount pretty much anywhere. You can get dedicated bolts where you can replace a perch bolt where it'll thread in. You can get ones that clamp on. Sky's the limit with this stuff. The other half of it is the quad lock system. This right here is the quad lock system. Now, there's a couple options. The best option I found, the most durable, is to get a dedicated phone case. These are going to be proprietary per your phone, and it'll fit perfectly. You need a phone case anyway, and I've not found this to be a problem. Even though it has that locking section on there, it's still quite slim and manageable. Fits in the pocket just fine. And this is a very good system for a multitude of reasons. We'll build this up together, but I just wanted to show you what it does. So this, to mount this, you just come in at a 45-degree angle, and that locks in there like that. So I can run my phone horizontal or vertical. If I want to run, if I'm running mapping and I want to run it this way, I can do it this way. Dual screens as well. I can have a close-up map here. I can have a far away up map there, so I can see when corners are coming up, or I just want to manage music in my helmet, or I want to send text messages or whatever. I mean, the sky's the limit. But let's deconstruct this, and I'll show you how to build one yourself and some options you might want to consider. Again, you're going to want to start with the RAM ball. Most of you are going to have something like this that you can just clamp on around a handlebar and offset. Now, if you want to go super skookum, you can actually get the metal style that replace a bolt. So if you look there just to the right, you'll see that there's supposed to be 2 bolts there per side. I've replaced it with a ram. There's a hex head in the top, so you can torque it just like a normal bolt, and that gives me a really nice, tight little clean mounting point for the phone mount. There are actually 6 pieces that you'll need to build this mount together, and I'll put links to these in the description as well, combined over from 2 different companies, but most of it is going to be the quad lock. The quad lock, number 1 piece is going to be the quad lock, the latch right here. Now this interfaces with the phone case, as you can see, and how that works is that locks in there very securely. When it's all put together, you push this tab and then rotate it 45 degrees, and then it releases. So this is a very good, robust system. Just a forewarning, there is a little bit of blue Loctite on here. It is not sufficient. You'll definitely want to Loctite this when you build it together, as we'll do right here. So that's piece number 1, component number 2, right there. Now this, I learned the hard way. I ruined 3 iPhones putting them on motorcycles. The vibration will eat the cameras, and they will not warranty it. They've been down that road before. They know exactly what happens. It just shakes them to death. Now, I am almost going on a year now using this very active with this isolating mount, and I have not had a camera destroyed. So that's been my experience. This is the second component. This is an isolator that isolates the vibration from the machine, boat, motorcycle, race car, what have you, and doesn't transfer it to the phone. There are 3 little rubber isolators on here that take up that abuse, the vibration, and it kind of keeps it independent. So this is very critical. It's a little bit big and bulky, but I've made this as small as humanly possible. You just can't get it any smaller that I'm aware of. And then finally, next is going to be the ball mount. Now the ball mount, we have a ball mount already on the bike. So to bridge these two, you need a ram arm. Now these come in various lengths. This is the smallest one I could find. They also come in metal, like this one, aluminum, or plastic. The plastic is lighter, less expensive, but it doesn't grip as hard. So if you have something really heavy, you might want to consider a metal. But if you want lightweight and small, the plastic is perfect for the handlebar because you don't want a bunch of heavy weight up on your handlebars, that sort of thing. So just your mileage may vary there, but this is what I went with, the very smallest ram mount you can get. So if we were going to build this, we'll start by putting it together with a Loctite. We're going to start with the ball. To build this, we're going to start with the ball, and you want to use 243 Loctite. That's the semi-permanent. Now these, if you see the teeth on there, the corresponding teeth, it's kind of a ratcheting effect, so you can custom tune it. And this spring in there is captured, so it doesn't come out. But when you use this 243 Loctite, you don't need to over tighten this stuff. Just remember how small those little screws are. That is good. So that right there is an isolated ram mount. Now we can take our quad lock piece, the same thing. Do not forget to Loctite it. Trust me, I know. And you know, if this is in the way, one of these arms, you can rotate it, so you can change this any position you want. So you may have to fool with this a little bit, but we'll just go right there for now. So those are the three components: the isolator, the clip itself, and the ram ball. Installing it is very simple. Once you have the ball mounted, it's pretty much a no-brainer. This one here is made by our friends Lance over at XC Gear. There's a lot of companies that make these where they are direct thread replacements, and that's really the cleanest way to go. But you just put the arm over there. Now we can align that. You see how those legs can get in the way. If you want to get something, you know, tucked in nice and tight, you have a lot of options. So just set that up there, and now we can set. It's really important to get the Loctite in there. We can set this mount. I typically put the blue, if you're right-handed, typically put the blue tab to the left. Seems to make the most sense. And you see the teeth on there. There's a lot of adjustments. So you just get that started, and then you can rotate this according to the teeth, you know, whatever you want. You can get it all dialed in so it's perfect. And tighten this guy down. There, you see how much insulation there is from that? It doesn't vibrate, or it's not troublesome when you're riding. It seems to be fine, and you have a lot of flexibility with it. So if you do hit something, you know, it's not hard mounted, it's not going to break. Good grief, it's amazing the difficulty that comes about when you have a camera on. This will move out of the way, and I don't have this very tight. I mean, you can really lock it down, but I like to keep it kind of loose. That way, if you hit something, it's going to move out of the way and not break. But that's a good system right there. You've got your phone. You can see it from a standing position or a seated position. If you want to have a little bit different orientation, you can lock it this way. And I mean, you could even put a longer arm on there. You know, you get the idea. You can do what you want. But this has been a very solid way to do it, and this is the way I run it, just like this.